Hey guys, this is Everyday Life. So, school year is still wrapping up, still coming to a close, and it seems like it's taking forever. So we go into class, and we just started on this chapter this week, and it would be way better if we would have took it like on a Monday test, so we can have the weekend to study. But people apparently don't like taking chapter tests like after a weekend. It's not like you're gonna forget the stuff because you can actually study and do everything. So this chapter we pretty much did everything out the book because we were like all displaced because of AP testing, and we're in a different room and he's all frustrated because I don't know, maybe he likes his room that he stays in and teaches. He's upset with that, and we just learn out of the book. And we take a lot of notes. Some people, you know, they don't take much notes or anything, but by the time we get in there, everyone's still just kind of studying the stuff they went over. And then there's a graphic organizer that we had to do in there, and my friend, I was talking to him before, like, I have a feeling that we're gonna have to turn this in, or it's gonna be due or something, because he gave it to us like 2 days before it was due. So told him like I'm just gonna do this just in case it's due. And turns out he's like, I'm gonna check this for points, and everybody's like, oh crap, was that homework? And I was like, see, I told you it was gonna be due. And he's like, oh, I said there's a 95% chance that he won't. And I'm like, that 5% chance happened. So when we were studying, we also said like one of these questions were gonna be on there talking about how the Longhorns were replaced by European cattle, which it said in the book. And he said, no, it's not gonna be like that at all. I'm like, okay, watch and see. So we bet on it, and I won that bet because that was on there. So the teacher sometimes like teaches you one thing and then the book says another, and the type of test we take is like questions from the book. So I kind of assumed that the test that we're gonna take was gonna be one of those tests like where some of these questions were like from the book and it looks all weird and it's easier than the level 2 test that we do. So get in there, he checks our thing and he hands out the test. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was kind of confident about it because it was one of those good tests where it was like from the book, and I read the book. So like maybe 2 minutes into when we were taking the test, he's like, you know what? You want to use your notes on that? Would that be good? I was like, yeah, let's use our notes. And I'm like, use our notes? I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. But the thing is, the notes that we took, I mean, if you actually took notes and then if you actually regularly study, you already know all your notes. So the notes really didn't help much on the test at all, which was very disappointing. It kind of made me more nervous because I had my notes there and it's like, oh my gosh, should I go check my notes or this? And I already know what it says. It's just adding a whole nother fear factor and just making it much more difficult than what it should be. And it's just, I go through there and most of them I'm like, yep, I'm gonna know what I know. And there's a few on there that's like, it could be this or it could be this. Like, those are the worst questions to have on the test, where it could be either or. Then the teacher says it's going to be this, and then the book says it's another thing. And it was a book test, like it was like questions from the book, so I went with the book than what the teacher says sometimes. So I don't know how that's going to work out for me, and it's very stressful, and the notes and all that crazy stuff. Also, I went through the test and like one of them, I read through it and I missed like a few words or something, or I read it too carefully and like overthink it, and I like circled it and left it, and I forgot to go back and mark the answer that I thought it was going to be. So after that, all that stuff, it was just, I left feeling good. But then after the test, we normally like talk about the answers we had and what was tricky, and then it just dropped my confidence level so much because someone reproved that I got wrong, and some of them was just left up in the air, which just makes it even worse. And notes, having your notes on tests sometimes isn't all that better because you already studied your notes, and it's like you wrote all this stuff down, and pretty much like you remember it better when you can like have your notes on stuff for some reason, and when you can't, you like forget everything. But yeah, so if you guys don't understand the contents of this video, you need to go to bed. Peace.